Powered by Riverside.
So, I would love to welcome you back. I am Randy, and today we are going to meet our second diarist. But first, we also need to have a confession about the word calm. So, I used to take pride in being unflappable. In the church lobby, at the school pickup line, in every family emergency, I was the level one. And people would say it like it was a compliment. Oh, you're so calm. How are you always so calm? And I would just smile and say something humble. But here's what I never said: I wasn't calm, I was just managing. And there's a version of calm that comes from peace, and there's a version that comes from pressure held with excellent manners. And from the outside, they are both identical. Only the person on the inside knows which one they're living. So today's diarist knows, and he's also known for 20 years. He's just never written it down until now. To entry number 2, the ledger. And I will be reading the full published post of in the entry number 2. So if you would like to, you can follow along on the page, or if you miss a piece, you can always go back and read it. So we're gonna start right about now. So I keep a ledger that nobody knows about, not on paper, but in my chest, somewhere behind the sternum, where I file every crisis I've absorbed without flinching. And today, I added 3. The morning was the the morning one was the server outage, everyone spiraling and me doing the thing I do, voice half a step slower than everyone else, like a metronome for other people's panic. We'll sort it out. Walk me through what happened. I don't know where I learned it. I just know that when I talk like that, shoulders come down all over the room, and something in me both loves that and is starting to hate it. The second one was Marcus, cornering me by the elevators about the restructuring rumors. He talked for 11 minutes, and I know because I watched the numbers change over his shoulder. He left saying, "Man, you're always so level about everything." And he meant it as a gift. The third one, I almost didn't count because it didn't feel like anything. I was in the break room this afternoon, the little one with the coffee maker that never keeps anything hot, and I was already talked out. So I did the easy thing. There's a woman from the third floor who's always in there around 2. Friendly, quick to laugh, the kind of person who seems like nothing sticks to her. And I handed her the vendor problem, the one I've been carrying all week. Handed it over in that joking way you do. "You're good with impossible people, aren't you? Save me." She laughed and said, "Send it over." And I felt lighter walking out. That's the part I keep coming back to tonight. I felt lighter. I didn't ask what she was carrying. It didn't occur to me that she was carrying anything. She was sitting by the window, and she was smiling, and I made her day heavier on my way out of the room. And I would have told you, I would have sworn that I'm the one who holds things around here. Here's what I actually came to this diary to write. And I've been circling it for 3 paragraphs. Today, my daughter asked me why I never get upset. Not a complaint, a real question. The one only a 9-year-old can ask one. Like, she was asking how planes stay up, and I said something easy and true sounding. Somebody's got to keep it in their head, Bug. But she looked at me a second too long, and in that second, I heard the question underneath her question. The one she doesn't have words for yet. Where does it go, Dad? The upset. Where do you put it? In the ledger, sweetheart. Behind the sternum, where it's been compounding interest for over 20 years. The truth, the thing I can write here and nowhere else, is that I'm not calm. I am contained. Those are different things, and I've been letting everyone believe the first one because the second one raises questions I don't want asked. Calm is peace, contained is pressure with good manners. In the ledger, it doesn't balance. That's the thing about it. Everyone makes their deposits, the outages, the elevator confessions, the vendor problems, and nobody's ever once asked to see the books. And I almost wrote, I'm fine just now. Force of habit, even here, even alone. Somebody's got to keep it in their head. But I'm starting to wonder what it's costing to be that somebody. So, we finished the entry, and this is from that published post I was talking to you about. So now let's talk about him. First, did you catch it? The break room, the woman by the window, the quick laugh, the one who seems like nothing sticks to her. He handed her the vendor problem and walked out lighter. He met our first diarist, and he read her exactly the way the whole world reads her. But wrongly. That's not a coincidence, and it won't be the last time. Keep watching these people. They keep leaning on each other, and nobody's checking who's underneath. Second, the ledger itself. Behind the sternum, compounding interest for 20 years. Here's what I know about emotional ledgers. Everybody makes deposits, and nobody ever asks to see the books. Not because they don't care, though. It's not that. Because he built the bank to look like it never needs auditing. The calm one's tragedy is the same as the strong friends, wearing a different outfit, competence that becomes camouflage. Third part, the daughter. Why don't you ever get upset, Dad? Out of the mouths of our babes. The 9-year-olds. Children ask the questions that adults have agreed not to ask each other. And they ask them like they're asking how planes stay up. And he gave her the easy answer. But the real question, where does it go, Dad? Followed him to his diary. Because sometimes the person who cracks up open isn't a therapist or a spouse. It's our children. A stranger's laugh, an ordinary Tuesday, but the truth is not picky about the messengers. So let's take a reflection for this week. And this one's especially for the contained ones. Where does it go? The upset, the fear, the weight that you absorb so everyone else's shoulders can come down. Name your place, and then ask the harder question. What's the interest rate on that? All right. So next week is entry number 3, the faithful one. A teacher who is strong twice a day for everyone and whose own prayers won't finish. If you've ever been fluent in comfort while feeling nothing, bring your tissues for this one. Because I needed them while I was writing. So, how did we feel about this week's entry and our reflection? Please let me know. I look forward to hearing your comments. And this has been the Strong Friends Diaries. They are written and read by me, Randy Donahoe. The diarists are composites. They're not real names, not real towns. But if one of them sounded like you, that's the point, because you're not alone. New entries happen every week at madeintheimageprojects.com, and the Strong Friends letter goes out every Tuesday. And it's one honest story, one reflection straight to your inbox. So until next time, you were wanted before you were needed. So let's live like it.